Hello and welcome to Trout Talk here on Saga 960 AM, or if you're listening or watching our podcast on YouTube. Thank you so much for coming along. I'm Brendan Lang. There's Mike Karafilids. We're two broadcasters for the Brampton Steelheads here on episode 9 of season 3, Trout Talk. So we will, of course, get to an interview here in a moment. Before we do that, though, Mikey, how's it been going? What's been going on these past few days?
Well, you know what I'm going to talk about? I'm going to talk about the Blue Jays,
Of
right?
course.
Ooh, yeah. Wow. George Springer. How do you like that? Like, what a story. Hits the home run, hits the 3-run homer to put them in the lead, gets in the lead and gets hit in
Yeah.
Seattle, gets booed by the Seattle fans, right? And I think he thrives off that stuff. Like, he always, right? And he comes back, that's just amazing. The Jays win the American League Championship, and just awesome right now. I think this is a team of destiny, right? But they got to play now the Dodgers. Good luck with that one. So,
Yeah.
I mean, when you got Ohtani, Dodgers got Ohtani as their number 4 starter in the rotation. Ohtani, man, I don't know. It's gonna be tough, but I think they can do it. I think they can. I think they got. I feel that they have a better overall lineup that could do a lot of things. They could put guys in and out. But so the Dodgers. I mean, they both have. It's gonna be tough, but it's nice to see them win, right?
100%, man. That's like I was. I'll be honest. Like, all year I've really believed in this team. I thought that, that even down the stretch when they looked like they were going to lose the division, I was always like, no, I still think they're going to be able to do it. They're still going to get it done. Even my optimistic self, I'll say, when I think it was in the 6th inning, they had a runner on first with 1 out, and Clement hit into a double play. I was like, I don't know. It just doesn't seem like it's going today. Like, nothing's happening. And I'll admit, like, that 6th inning double play, I was like, I don't know if this is going in the right direction. Full credit to John Schneider for bringing in his big dogs. Gausman out of the bullpen on 2 days rest. Great inning from him. He walks the first hitter, gets the double play. And then, everyone's going to talk about the Springer home run, of course, because it's like the second biggest home run in Blue Jays history behind Joe Carter, obviously, in the World Series. But I think, a lot of credit goes to Addison Bargery, leads off the inning with a walk. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, who's forced into the lineup, gets a hit there up the middle. Even Andres Jimenez bunting the 2 runners over. Like, it's tough to do in that spot. Obviously, with the home run, it didn't really matter because they would have scored anyways. But as a hitter, sometimes it sets your sights a little differently when you see the 2 guys in scoring position with 1 out. So all those things had to happen for that Springer home run to go. And just as somebody who's been, following the Blue Jays throughout the entire year, throughout my entire life, really, and the first time that I'm ever going to see them play in the World Series. So it's, it was very joyful moment for me, for sure. I was very happy, and I know a lot of people in Toronto and across Canada as well were extremely excited. And I think it's really cool to see, somebody like Vladimir Guerrero. You see he has like tears in his eyes, and you can just tell how much it means to him. And it's really cool to have a guy, in Toronto, represent Toronto like that, and obviously show that he just cares so much about the organization and about the team's success and about all that. So that was really awesome. I'm super excited to see what's going to happen with the World Series. Like you said, obviously a very, very tough matchup with the Dodgers. I think Blake Snell is going in game 1 and Yamamoto is going in game 2. So see how it goes. Gausman and Yasavage, I'm sure they're going to get either, the games 1 and 2, and we'll see how it works. But imagine that. I can't even fathom Yasavage, man. Like, this guy was pitching in college last year, and he's going to be starting a game in the World Series. Like,
that's pretty awesome, eh?
So cool.
Unbelievable. But you said it. You know what? Full marks. They brought in Bassett for an inning, and he did well. Gausman came in, got into a little bit of trouble, but I thought as soon as they pulled George Kirby, and I was like, man, because Kirby was on for the Seattle Mariners. Like, he was in the beginning, he had a shaky start. And then after that, he was mowing them down like crazy. But I don't know. But you know what? It's you never know what's going to happen. And good. It's so awesome that the Jays are moving on. Unbelievable.
Yeah, it really is. And like you said, Springer getting booed in Seattle when he gets hurt and then he gets that hit. That's such a great ending for the Jays and for George Springer.
Remember they were showing the Seattle, they showed it in the Fox broadcast I saw. And they were showing the Seattle bar over there, and they're all
Yeah,
going crazy and stuff. And they're only nine outs away before the World Series. Oh, and all of a sudden, I would love to see a shot after when they
yeah.
they lost.
Yeah, and I mean, not just losing this, but a historically cursed franchise. Like they came in
Oh,
at the same time with the Jays, and they're the only team in Major League history to never go to a World Series still.
yeah, it's too bad. It's too bad.
Like,
I like what Vladdy said too, though. Eh? He says he wants to win a ring for his dad. That's unbelievable.
amazing.
I think that's cool.
See, like it's just so awesome. And every time that he gets interviewed, you can tell, after his series, same with the Yankees, same with this one, like he has emotions and he's obviously extremely excited. But the first thing he always says is, "We're not done. Four more, four more." So it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah. Four more,
there's
four
still more
more.
to go. So it's yeah, I'm super excited for it. It's going to be a tough series. Obviously, the best team the Jays have had to play in the playoffs, no doubt. Seattle, great opponent as well. So it'll be fun. Super excited to see how it goes.
Oh,
That's
it was a little scary though, but it's
oh, it
what it is.
was.
Against Seattle. Oh my gosh. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, they
yeah.
they had a good team. They had a good
Oh, they
team. They really
very
did.
good.
Cal Raleigh, the big whatever, the big dumper. Holy mackerel, man. Trying
Yeah.
to get that guy out. Every time
Julio
he hits a foul
Rodriguez.
ball, Julio
Yeah,
Rodriguez,
good
man, every
series.
time
Yeah.
he could have been MVP of that series if Seattle moved on. I'm just
Mm-hmm.
saying. And they
100%. I
didn't,
mean, he had a home run in game seven, like so did Raleigh. Yeah.
right?
Really good
Yeah,
team. And you know what?
unreal.
The Jays were just a little bit better. That's awesome
Yes,
because
yes.
I've never seen it. I know a lot of people have never experienced it. Even people that did experience it, it was 32 years ago, long
Yeah,
time. So
yeah,
it's
that was a
like,
long time. Joe Carter. Yeah,
yeah,
Joe Carter. Touch
exactly.
them all. Touch them all. Touch them all,
So
Joe.
really,
Yeah.
really great to see that. All right, so we let's quickly just kind of talk about the games this past week for the Brampton Steelheads. We can just quickly go over them. We'll kind of go more in depth as we move into the back half of the show. But um, first, we have that game against the Brantford Bulldogs on Friday night in Brampton. The Steelheads losing that one 7-3.
Oh yeah, no, it was. Well, they got off to a slow. They got off to a slow start, right? And I know we preached on it a lot in the broadcast. Slow starts have been kind of the thing with the Steelheads going into that game, right? So yeah, so we got to a 3-0 lead, the Brantford Bulldogs, and after that, the Steelheads came roaring back in that second period to tie it at 3, and they were all over Brantford. I mean, Brantford's a team that they're just stacked, right? They got Van Acker, 9 NHL draft picks on the team: Van Acker, O'Brien, Benak. That's one line. That's the first line, right? I mean, and you got Yurchek back there, and the Stravetsky kid, and they're just stacked. Leaders played really well as well
Yeah.
back there in the coming back. I think that was probably his best game that he played against Brampton
Mm-hmm.
since the trade.
Yeah,
Really,
I'd agree. Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, they came back, and it was really a penalty. It was a penalty near the end of the second period, and then the Bulldogs, they tied it. Or excuse me, they took the lead 4-3 in that power play, right? And I think it was a penalty that maybe they shouldn't have taken. So, but hey, Bulldogs took advantage of it. What they go 4 for 6 on the power
Yeah.
play. It was special teams that
Mm-hmm.
game, and Steelheads roll for 7.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Obviously, a lot of firepower up front, as you had talked about, and when you give them that many opportunities on the power play, it's going to be difficult to stop them. Well, we'll skip over the Saturday game for now and get to the Sunday win, 7-2 for the Brampton Steelheads. And you talked about getting off to a fast start. That was the difference in that game. They really came out firing.
What was Parker Von Richter +6? +6 in that game, right? Scores his first goal of the year, and yeah, they got off to a fast start. They really poured it on this Erie Otters team, and it was two teams that were playing a 3-3 that
Yeah.
weekend, right? And Erie played one game in Erie against the Niagara Ice Dogs, and then in Niagara on Saturday. So, and then they came to Brampton on Sunday, right? So both teams, it's tough on 16, 17-year-olds to play those 3-3. So yeah, they Steelers got off to that great start. Von Richter had a great game. Josh Avery was absolutely fantastic in that game as well. I thought it was a pretty total team effort, and Zach Bowen again, just unbelievable in between the twine. And you think to yourself, he played the way he played. He played really well on Sunday, and then Saturday, kind of a stinker. You're gonna have those games here and there, and he was kind of off. But then James Richmond puts him right back in on Sunday, and what does he do? He shuts him down.
Great
So
game. Yeah. Yeah, 100%. I mean, that was a big one, like you said, kind of getting off to that fast start, I think was big just because, the last few games, I should say, before that, it was a little bit of a slow start and then they got things going in the second and third period right there from the jump. They
Mhm.
were the better team in that game. So good to see. All right. So we'll take a break. Coming up next, we'll talk to the newest Brampton Steelhead, Josh Avery. We will do that again after the break. You're listening to Trout Talk here on Saga 960 AM. And welcome back to Trout Talk on Saga 960 AM. I'm Brendan Lang, along with Mike Karafilids, the two broadcasters for the Brampton Steelheads. Again, season 3, episode 9 of Trout Talk. And now I'd like to welcome onto the show, mentioned it before we went to the break, the newest Brampton Steelhead, Josh Avery. Josh, thank you so much for coming on. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me.
Oh, no problem. How you feeling so far? I mean, coming to Brampton. There's my first question.
Yeah, it's been good. Very welcoming. Obviously, all the guys have been great and great coaching staff. So just excited to be here.
And obviously, in your career, the first time that you've been traded. So kind of take us through that. Like, how did you find out? What was that whole process like for you?
Yeah, it was a bit of a whirlwind. Just kind of all happened within 48 hours. There was a couple teams on the table, and then I just got kind of called off the ice during practice. Got called into Spencer Hyman's office, and they kind of discussed what was going on. And basically that night, I was kind of packing my bags, and the following morning, I was getting picked up by our assistant coach. So yeah, it was a pretty crazy 24, 48 hours, but I'm glad it all worked out.
Yeah, it seems like you're really adjusting to the guys in Brampton as well. I mean, you started off on the third line, then you moved up to the second line, then you're up to the first line. It seems like you got something going with Gabe Sherratt, Matej Stankoven. It just seems like you're clicking out there with whoever you've been playing with. Like talk about the teammates.
Yeah, I mean, whoever I've been playing with, it's been good so far. I mean, Sherratt's obviously a great player. I saw obviously him get drafted last year was pretty exciting for him. So now being on the same line kind of was pretty cool, and works his tail off as well. So and then Stankoven, yeah, little younger guy, but very smart there, makes skilled plays. So yeah, right now us three we've been clicking, and hopefully we can continue moving forward.
And obviously, when you come to a new team, there's different systems and different kind of things like that that you have to kind of adjust to. How has that adjustment period been, and sort of what are maybe the difficulties there when you're kind of shifting over mid-season and getting into a game almost right away?
Yeah, it's a bit different. I mean, the coaching staff were good. The first few games, kind of just don't worry too much about it and just play my game and play loose, play free. But yeah, I've been doing lots of video and trying to get dialed in on the new systems here. It is a little different, so it takes some time. I'm still trying to continue to get that patted down, but yeah, I think over time and reps and stuff during practice will help with that. So it's been good.
How different were the systems? I mean, in Brantford now coming to Brampton. Talk about the systems.
Yeah, it's a little different. I mean, I'd say special teams is the biggest difference, where there is power play and penalty kill. Brantford on the PK, they run a bit more of a kind of a stationary, like just stay in lanes, let them play on the outside. Here in Brampton, it's a bit more like flush down and force when you can. So trying to get used to that. And then power play is a little different, the setup as well. But just like some face-offs as well, like things that you don't really think about, different plays that we run and stuff. So just trying to continue to work on those and kind of get that engraved in my brain. And then it'll be all natural from there.
And since you've come over, and I mean, you've been doing it, of course, throughout your career, but you've played some center, you've played some wing. Is there kind of a preference there of what you like doing and what kind of feels more comfortable for you?
Not really, to be honest. I think I've played more center in my career, but I don't really have a preference. I mean, I've been on the wing with Stankoven and Sherratt, and I feel like we've played really well. So yeah, I don't really have a preference where I go. As long as wherever the coach wants me to go, I'll go. So.
That's it. You go where you're told where to go, right? And you've been doing a good job with that. I'll tell you that right now. But you just been clicking. I mean, when you got the call, you said there was a couple of teams that were involved. They told you about that. I'm not going to ask you obviously who the teams were. Obviously, one was Brampton, but then did you get a preference where you wanted to go?
No, it was just the kind of a rumor floating around that I heard the day before, and then got called in, and Brampton was the team. So,
Well, fair enough.
Yeah.
And
There
then
you go.
since you've gotten here, I mean, we've kind of talked a lot about the systems and stuff, but wanted to ask you, about James Richmond. Obviously, your first time working with him. What's kind of the early impressions been of him being your head coach?
Yeah, he's been great. Super flexible with me stepping in, especially with the systems, like I mentioned earlier. I think that's huge as a coach too, to kind of show me that it's okay. You can step in, play your game, play loose, play free, but also being on the teaching side of it, like, hey, every week we kind of go through some things I need to work on or get down pat or whatnot on the PK, especially because it's all different, right? So I'm just trying to get used to that. But he's been, very comfortable, very, very open about different things like that. So and he's just a great coach. He's a player's coach. He's always goofing around with the guys, I can tell. So it's pretty fun to be in the locker room with them all.
Yeah, he is. He definitely is a player's coach. That's good. It was good to hear. So, you played with Nick Lardis last year. I have to ask you this. You played with Nick Lardis. How was it to play with a guy like Nick Lardis?
He's a special player. Yeah, I've never seen something like that up firsthand. So seeing him doing well in the AHL this year, he had Rookie of the Week last year in the A, so that was pretty cool to see and very well deserving. But just super skilled, super fast, and a wicked shot. Obviously, 71 goals, franchise record for the Bulldogs. So it's a pretty special year to be a part of that. And obviously Patrick Thomas alongside Lardy, both of those two guys. I've never seen a dynamic duo like that in the O before. So it was fun to be a part of. And I'm excited to see where they go in the future.
And you're talking about, great players that you played with there. You were also in Columbus Blue Jackets camp this year. What was that experience like, kind of getting a crack at that?
Yeah, it was great. I got to go to Montreal's development camp in the summer after the draft, which was fun. I had a couple buddies there, and then obviously meeting new people, which is really nice, all over the world, really. And then Columbus was kind of the first chance to play a couple NHL games, and obviously it's a big step up from the OHL. So just the pace and whatnot is so much faster. So I think that adding to my game is huge, bringing it down to the OHL and kind of taking advantage of like, hey, now it's a little slower pace for me. I can kind of read plays and take my time and not rush pucks. So I think Columbus was an awesome experience for me. Great organization there, and I'm happy to be a part of that. Yeah.
All right, so rivalry week just finished. Obviously your first games against the Brantford Bulldogs. How are you feeling? Especially playing against your old team for the first time and going in. So it's a two-part question. First game, and then going into Brantford on Saturday. Man, there must have been a little bit of some nerves going on, huh?
Yeah, I think it was nice to have that go into Brantford the second day. Too bad we couldn't get a win, but it was kind of it's always fun playing against your buddies and texting before the game and what our predictions are and stuff like that. So it was fun to play against them. I was glad to kind of show them that I'm not just, when you play against your old team, you want to show that you've proved something, right? So that was kind of my goal and whatnot. So but it was nice to play against my buddies and see them after the games and stuff and kind of catch up quick. So it was definitely nerve-wracking at the beginning, but I mean, once you step on the ice, it's still a game and you got to do your job. So.
And when you got to the rink, was there any like going through the wrong door? You were going on the wrong side of the rink, anything like that? Just kind of feel weird being on the other side?
Yeah, it was a little different, especially being in Brantford. I've obviously never been kind of on that side of the rink, on that side of the bench. So it was a little different feeling. But yeah, I mean, all the guys were great and stuff. So it was a fun game to be a part of, and we got a couple more down the road. So.
Yeah, you must be looking forward to those next ones, right? You got these two out of the way, and you got to play this team 4 more times during the regular season, right? Or is it 6 more times? Is it 6 or 8? 6, right? I think it's 6
times total. Times, 4 more.
Should be 8. Why did they add another one to Niagara and they keep 6 for Brantford? I don't know. I just make this, but what, Josh? It's time to learn more about you, right? So. What do you like to do besides hockey, of course? What else do you like to do? If you were, if you weren't into hockey, what other sport would you get into? For me, looking at you, you'd probably be a linebacker. Am I right?
A linebacker. I don't know about that. I used to play lacrosse as a kid and soccer. Those are my two kind of main sports. But my brother's a really big golfer, and I've played golf for a while. That's always my summer go-to. So. if I could play another sport, I'd probably try and go pro golf or something, be like my brother. So yeah.
Is your
Everybody
brother
wants
a
to be golf.
He's
golfer?
not a golf pro. Hopefully in the future, he's an '09, but he is a pretty sweet golfer. It kind of bugs me now that I'm the older brother, but I can't beat him ever. So it's fun to play with him, and he teaches me some tips and stuff. So yeah, it's a good time.
How is your golf game? Yeah. How's your golf game overall?
I'd say it's pretty good. If you ask my brother, he wouldn't say that, but against an average Joe, I feel like I'd hold myself pretty well.
Yeah, you probably hold yourself well against me. I'll tell you that right now. The one shot, and I can't. I said this all the time. One shot, I don't know what to do after that. I just sit inside.
Yeah. He hits one shot, and then he just rides around the cart for the rest of the round.
Yeah, but hey, I got a good first shot though. Come on, buddy.
Of course.
I could smash that thing to 500 yards, and after that, don't ask me what to do. But anyways, yeah. So what? So you like to golf? Like, what else do you like to do? Like,
yeah,
tell us more about. Yeah. Oh, there you go. That's a good thing.
Yeah, in the summer, I mean, nice not being too far from home. I'm from Uxbridge, Ontario, so nice to get home. And I sometimes throughout the year, and my parents come up to watch lots of games and stuff. So. But in the summers, yeah, like lots playing cards and watching movies and golfing, and I love water sports, go up to cottages and stuff, and wakeboarding and stuff like that. So
nice.
Yeah, a bit of everything.
Nice.
Yeah, I've never tried wakeboarding. I've heard it's pretty difficult. So.
It's when you start, it's difficult, but once you kind of get up and get the hang of it, it's not too bad.
Yeah.
Nice. So you're not a football guy, you're not a baseball guy. I know you're not a baseball guy. I asked, and you're like, I don't know, my dad is, not me. I was like, oh.
No, I'm cheering on the Blue Jays. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, that was scary. I'll tell you that, it was scary. Very scary. So I guess when you go to, because you're from Uxbridge, when you go to Oshawa, you probably have a lot of family and friends that go to the Oshawa games, right? You probably
when I was a kid, I would those are the games that we'd go to, and Oshawa was kind of like the closest team to my hometown. So those were where we'd go watch the OHL games. So yeah, I got some family and friends that usually come down to those games for sure.
That's How awesome. Cool is that when you kind of get that chance? Like you said, you went to games more in Oshawa, and then now you've obviously played on the ice there before. Like, what does that feel like? You know, you've been there as a fan and then as a player too.
Yeah, it's a pretty surreal feeling. Growing up, you look up to all these older guys, and now being one of them, it kind of feels not real, to be honest. Like, you're in the position that you think that you'd never be in. So yeah, super thankful to kind of be in this position and share maybe this feeling with some younger kids who look up to me and my teammates now. So it's a full around going circle and continue to be like that. So it's a pretty cool feeling for sure.
What do you bring to this Brampton Steelheads team, Josh?
Yeah, I think just a creative forward, plays both ends of the ice, responsible in my D zone, and then also, creates chances for me and my teammates in the offensive zone. I love to score goals, and I love to win. So that's the fun part about hockey. So I think we all like doing that.
Mm-hmm. And you being, a little bit of not an older guy, but somebody who's been in the league for a little time now. Obviously, there's a lot of new players, new faces on the Steelheads playing in their first season in the OHL. Of course, you're new to the team, but how do you kind of balance that? Like, you are experienced in the OHL, but you're new to the team. So how do you kind of balance that leadership role with some of the younger guys?
Yeah, I think in Brampton, we got a young group. It's all good though. Like, I think last year we had an older group in Brantford, and I was one of the younger guys. So I learned a lot from, like you said before, the Nick Lertises, the Patrick Thomases of the world. And now kind of bringing that into Brampton with the younger guys, it's kind of a good adjustment for me to kind of show my leadership style that way. But yeah, like, I think any kind of teaching moments that I would pick up last year were huge for me. And I really thought it was helpful for my game. So I'm just trying to do the same for the younger guys this year and help them out in any way I can.
Some of those younger guys you were one of the younger guys last year, but you started on the first line for the Brantford Bulldogs. You started with Danak and what's his name there? O'Brien, right? You started with those, and you scored a goal. You had an assist with those guys, right? So it seems like to me you flourish in good opportunities. You always take the opportunities, you grab them by the horn. You've always been like that in your younger career too, like when you played minor hockey.
Yeah, I feel like opportunity is the biggest thing. I've been on on teams where you don't get too much playing time and it's frustrating, but you just kind of try and help the team win as much as you can. And when you get that opportunity, you want to make the best of it. So I want to be the guy that has the puck and we need to score. Like I want to be in that position. So yeah, when you get the opportunity, I try to make the most of it. And so far this year, it's been going good for that reason. So I'm excited to keep going and do my thing that way.
I feel like we haven't asked any of the guys about this yet this year, but are you a superstitious guy? You got anything that you got to do before every game?
I'm not too superstitious, to be honest. No. There's nothing out of the ordinary.
Did you fit in right in perfectly with the
it seems like everyone. That's
everyone, and then on the Steelheads has no superstition. Like, what, you don't have anything? Like, I tape my stick different. Come on, like, come on. If it was me, my superstition, I'd be walking up and down, like hitting the thing. I don't know, 3 times or something like that. They'd give me something. I don't know, but everybody's the same, right? I guess everybody's the same. Josh, how much can you bench press?
That's a good question. I'm not a big 1 rep max guy, so I might have to try this out this summer, but I couldn't tell you an exact answer, to be honest.
Can you beat Parker Von Richten?
He's a pretty big guy. I don't know. What's his answer?
I can't remember what it was.
240, 235?
No, I thought
Zabesky was 240.
More than that.
I think Zabesky. Can you beat Mason Zabesky?
Zeb's a pretty big guy. I don't know if I could beat him. I might go toe-to-toe with PBR, though. We'll see.
Oof. That's a tough one. PBR is an intense guy. I don't know. You guys together? I'd be good. That'd be a good matchup. I think we'd have to get some video on that. We'd have to go in and get some video.
Maybe.
That'd be some good content. I never thought about that.
That seems to be a similar answer to everyone, though. Nobody's really a big 1 rep max guy. So kind of fit right in there too. Mikey just mentioned taping a stick, so I just thought of this. But I hadn't noticed. Are you a black tape or a white tape guy?
I'm a white tape guy. Yeah.
Have you always been white tape?
Me too.
Always in minor hockey. Actually, when I was a really young kid, I used black, and then throughout my minor hockey, I was mainly white. Switched back to black tape maybe a couple years ago. Didn't love it, and then ever since then, I'm like, okay, I got to go back to my roots with the white tape. So I had to switch them.
White tape's always the best. I was a white tape guy too, because I find with stick handling, it's better with the puck. I don't know. Black tape, it just bothered me. Bugs me when I see it on the ice too. If I'm watching a game and I see black tape, it's like tape your stick white. It looks better. I don't know. It just looks better.
I don't think I've ever had white tape on any of my sticks that I've ever used. I've always used black tape.
Yeah, I can see that.
I am, but see, I've never handled a puck either in my life, so it doesn't really matter too much.
Yeah, you're a defenseman, right?
Yeah. Didn't matter too much with me. All right, Josh. Thank you so much for coming on, man. Really appreciate this.
Thanks,
nice
Josh.
to meet you. And we'll see you around the rink. Good luck the rest of the year, and we'll definitely talk to you again at some point.
Thanks for having me. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, Josh. Thank you.
Thanks, Josh. All right, that was Josh Avery here with the Brampton Steelheads. Great to talk to him. Great to meet him, and really good addition here for this Steelheads club, especially so far throughout his career, and I'm sure it'll continue to be that way as we continue on in the season. All right, so we will take a break, come back after this with more Trout Talk. And welcome back to Trout Talk here on Saga 960 AM. I'm Brendan Lang, along with Mike Karafilids, 2 broadcasters for the Brampton Steelheads, Season 3, Episode 9. We just spoke to Josh Avery, the newest Steelhead, was traded over from the Brantford Bulldogs. And Mikey, kind of a crazy scenario. We talked about the trade, talked about coming over here, but it seems like he's fitting in really well.
Oh, I'd say he's almost got a point in almost every game since he's been Brampton Steelhead, right? He's a pro. You could totally see he's a pro, and the way he talks and conducts himself and whatnot. Especially, it's a good pickup. They give away just 2 draft picks in 2029, right? So he's a guy that's probably going to be around for a couple more years as well, unless he makes it up into the A or whatnot, but he comes from a good organization in the Brantford Bulldogs. He comes over here now to Brampton. I mean, you play for Jay McKee and now you come over and you play for James Richmond. It's pretty good, right? It's pretty good. 2 pro coaches and 2 pro coaching staff. So guy adds a lot. We've seen it. Like he said, he can score. He plays a good 200-foot game, as he said. Asked him what he brings to this team. And he's been a great addition so far. Great addition.
100%. And I mean, I think it's the thing that stands out with him is just the skill that he brings. I feel like it's kind of like a different element of the game than a lot of the Steelheads roster with what he brings to the team. And I think that's a really good thing. And also I think a really big part of it as well is just him getting an opportunity to play. You had asked him, has that always been something that you've tried to do, like flourish in these opportunities when you get a good chance? Obviously in Brantford, I mean, they just have so many guys there. It's going to be he was on the first line, but it's going to be difficult to kind of stay in that area with Brampton. There's going to be probably more of an opportunity for him to play higher up in the lineup and play big minutes. And I feel like that's just a huge thing that's already paid dividends for the Steelheads and for Josh as a whole. I mean, you said it, points in every game that he's played in so far. And, even outside of the points, like I think that doesn't even tell the full story of what he's done. I mean, you talk about the defensive side, the two-way game, he's been on the penalty kill at different times as well. So he's been able to do that. And then of course you love the point production too. And it seems like he's meshing pretty well together with Sherrod and Stankoven up there on that top unit.
You know what I liked about him as well? Yeah, exactly. You nailed a lot of points there. He's very, very good at finding open space. Finding for his teammates to find him open. And the example was Parker Von Richter with that behind the back pass to him and found that open space, and he was able to bury it by Erliden, right, against Erie. But man, yeah, he could find open space. He's very, very sneaky out there. I think he's sneaky good. I think that's the word that I'm looking for him. But yeah, he's all over the place, and you got to like it. He's an intensity guy too, and he's a pro. And I think he's just gonna get better. And he's only 18, right?
Yeah,
so
still a
as I
young
said,
player.
he's still got a couple more years. And think about how good he's going to be when he's 19. Think about how good I mean, the season just started.
Right.
I mean, how good is he going to be when the season moves on, right? Halfway through the year, look at the point production he has and the players that he's playing with. And that goes to say, too, that, for this whole Steelheads team with Josh Avery, I mean, everybody's still underestimating them. Well, not really. Well, there's some people are kind of giving them some.
They are for sure
now.
more.
Some, right? And we appreciate. They appreciate that, and we appreciate that too on the podcast. But this Steelheads team, they're still going to turn a lot of heads, and Josh Avery's he's going to be one of the guys that are going to lead them forward.
100%. Yeah. And like I said, it's just a different element of the game that he brings, which I think is a big part of it. And you mentioned getting into the right spots, kind of knowing where to be. That's a huge thing too. And he is only 18 years old. So there is development. He's young, but he also, has had experience playing in the OHL. He knows what the grind of the season is like. So I feel like there's going to be some great development as we move forward in this year, and obviously for years to come with the Steelheads. All right. So we mentioned it a little bit before we came on, but let's talk about those three games. We can kind of dive a little bit deeper into them. So we have the Friday game, the 7-3 loss against Brantford. We outlined it in the beginning. If you missed it, kind of a slow start in that game. They really turned it on in the second period. They were the better team in the second frame, no doubt. And then it was kind of maybe some penalty trouble that got in the way there late in that contest.
Yeah, well, I mean, that was the game. 4 for 6 on the power play. We mentioned earlier. 4 for 6 on the power play were the Brantford Bulldogs, but the Steelheads had 7 opportunities in that game, and we're 0 for 7. The big, that's tough. Any team that goes, you don't score in 7 opportunities, that's a problem, and any team that you let 4 goals on the power play, that's going to be a problem in any game, right? So that was it right there. The special teams was the downfall. And Brantford has always had a good power play. Last year they had a good power play. This year again they got a good power play. They have a good system over there. They love that cross seam pass. I mean, that's their big thing. So besides that, they're just loaded with power. You can't flirt with the Giant, right? The Giant's going to step on you, and it was tough. It was tough for the Steelheads to give up so many power plays, but Brantford did a good job on the power play. That was the game to me. Otherwise, 5-on-5, I thought the Steelheads were the better team.
Yeah, 5-on-5, they played them tough 100%. Yes. And I mean, again, when you give that many opportunities to a team with that much firepower, it's going to be really difficult to win games. And then to your point, when you go 0 for 7 on the power play, that's another chance there where you kind of had an opportunity to sort of move a little bit closer in that game. Maybe if you score twice on that power play and maybe you take one less penalty, now you're kind of, in the game a little bit more. So there are definitely a lot of positives in that game. Brantford's one of, if not the best team in all of the CHL. So, I mean, it's always going to be tough when you play against them. But yeah, I think there were definitely some things to like. Even with the 7 goals, I thought Zach Bowen played pretty well. Like, it wasn't like there was a lot of goals where it was like, he'd probably want that one back. Like, there was, again, 4 power play goals. So usually you're not going to put that on the goal.
Exactly.
But yeah, so some definitely some positive things there. Then they go into Brantford. I mean, you always knew that was going to be a tough game coming off, obviously, a back-to-back in the middle of a 3-3 in Brantford, a tough place to play against a really good team. That was one that you kind of knew was going to be difficult going in there.
Yeah, that's a tough play. That's a tough part. I mean, when you're coming in on a back-to-back and Brantford wins the first one in Brampton, and then they go back to their home barn. That's a tough place to play. And the place was jammed. They had standing room only over there, and it's a Saturday afternoon in Brantford, and that's tough. And again, they got off to a slow start. Well, the slow start cost them this time 3-0, and ended up being 9-0 at one time. But what the positives was of that game was the third period. And I think they took that third period on to Sunday. In the third period, they scored 3 goals to make it 9-3. And Keaton Ardaugh really started to turn it on. And he was one of the best players on the ice, I thought, on Saturday. And so they scored 3 to make it 9-3. And then Keaton Ardaugh comes back on Sunday and scores a multi-goal game, his first multi-goal game as a rookie against the Erie Otters as well, right? But they win that third period. They take that positive, they move it on to Erie, and then they beat the Erie Otters. They blow them out, essentially, right? 7-2. So that was the positives of the game. And, broadcasting that game, you could see it. You're like, I kept saying, the positives were the third period they won, and they take that into Sunday, and they did that. They grabbed the bull by the horns, as I like to say, and they really clamped down, and they did a good job against the Erie Otters.
100%. I mean, that's kind of where we can go into now, because they kind of took that momentum and moved it into that game. When we spoke to James Richmond before the Sunday game against the Erie Otters, Keaton Ardaugh was a name that he mentioned, and he said, we kind of asked him, are there any positives you can take out of that 9-3 game? Like, who did you think played well? And that was probably, I think that was the first name that he mentioned. He said, I really liked the way that Keaton Ardaugh played in that game against Brantford. Remember, he wasn't in the first game against Brantford. He didn't play the Friday, got in there against Saturday, and then the game on Sunday, obviously the best game of his short OHL career here early on in his career. But they do win 7-3, and he does pick up 2 goals in that game. So obviously, congratulations to him for his first multi-goal game. A few milestones in that game as well. He gets his first multi-goal game. Manny Amato scores his first OHL goal. And Ty Daniels picks up his first OHL point as well, getting an assist on the Amato goal. So lots of things to be happy about from that Sunday game against the Otters.
Yeah, it was nice. I mean, it was nice to see Manny Amato, London native, get his first OHL goal and just squirt it over the line, right? And they had to go to review on that. I had a good view because I was in between the boards that game, and they came back to the bench, and Parker Von Richter was the first one that said, "It's in," and Manny Amato just very, very quietly just kind of looked over and it's in. I was just watching the reactions, and you saw the replay. It was clearly in, but it was close. Sure. But congratulations to him, and congratulations to Ty Daniel, the motor that never stops. That's what I like to call him, right? And gets his first OHL point. That's huge for these guys, right? And that's huge for confidence and stuff. You get the first one out of the way, and then the other ones are just gonna come easy. And Keaton Ardaugh, I mean, man, another 2 goals. He's got 3 goals already on the season. That's pretty good for a rookie, right? Nobody's even talking about Keaton Ardaugh, how he scored the 2-goal multi-goal game. So his first multi-goal game, 2 goals on Sunday against Erie. So I think people are going to start talking more about these guys, and are going to start talking more about Ardaugh, going to start talking more about Amato, start talking more about Ty Daniels. These guys are starting to, again, these guys are getting better and better. So look out.
Yeah, and actually Ardaugh, it was his first game where he was elevated onto the third line as well. And that worked out there. And then I really like the Amato Daniels kind of duo on that fourth line. It was Botno playing on the fourth line with them that time. So then you have a little bit of experience there too with him. But they both play kind of heavy games. We know what the James Richmond kind of style of game is on that fourth line. We saw it for years when it was Witkowski, Sherrod, and Richmond. Like that was the fourth line where it was just like speed, get on the forecheck, hit everybody in sight. Kind of similar with them. I mean, Ty Daniels, like you said, the motor that never stops. I mean,
never
that guy,
stops.
his feet never stop moving. Like
No.
he just continues to move the entire time he's on the ice, hits. Manny Amato has gotten a lot bigger from last year. And he is really shown how much his size has helped him out so far this season.
Yeah, I want to know how much he can bench press. Like, I mean, he's gotten big. As you said, he's gotten bigger, stronger. But I love the way Daniels plays, though. He's like a human bowling, like a human pin, bowling pin, right?
Pinball,
pinball, whatever. Just like boom, this guy, all over the place. It's like whoa, like where's this guy coming from, right? But you know what? Like they cause turnovers. These fourth line, right? And they're doing a great job. And I just love the way they play. Again, they're just going to get better and better. And but it's gonna get tougher this weekend against two. Well, we'll talk about that, two against the Niagara Ice Dogs and one against the North Bay Battalion. 3 divisional games, Brendan.
That's right, 3 divisional games. So we're going to mostly focus on the Sunday game that's coming up at home against the Niagara Ice Dogs. That's coming up after this on Saga 960 AM. Before we get to those games, though, we said we're going to start doing it. So let's do the 3 stars of the week.
All right, here we go.
We get in there. I've got my 3 stars.
Okay, you go first.
I'm going to go with Parker Von Richter. He's in there, 2 goals over those 3 games. Thought he's been really good all year, so I like that. I think Keaton Arda is going to be in there too. He's been really good with the 2 goals, and then I got to throw Manny Amato in there as well, picking up his first OHL goal. That's the 3 stars I'm going to go with this week.
All right, well, fair enough. Well, first star for me is Keaton Arda.
Of course.
That's my first star of the week. And my second star would probably go to Parker Von Richter. I mean, I have to go I can't go anybody else. I mean, he was a +6 on Sunday, right? So scores his first goal of the season. He's just been an absolute leader out there. Third star, I'm going to split it. I'm going to split this third star. Now, I'm going to go with Josh Avery in my third star and Jakob Fibiger in my third star. So those 2 get honorable mention. Half stars. So I really should pick just a third star, but it was a tough one for me.
Yeah,
right?
Fair enough. Hey,
I'd like to throw Daniels in there too. I think Daniels he's up there too on the he makes the list, as they say.
100%.
As Chris Jericho says, you made the list, right? You made the list. Right. So, but
100%.
A lot of guys could have been stars, but those are my two.
Yep. Love it. All right. So let's get into this upcoming weekend. Just quickly, we'll save the Niagara talk just for the Sunday game. Let's just talk quickly about North Bay. That game will have happened yesterday. Of course, it's Friday night against the Niagara Ice Dogs in Niagara, Saturday in Brampton against North Bay, and then Sunday in Brampton against Niagara again. But these Battalion, they're a tough team to play. This is a team that I think is kind of trying to make a jump this year too.
Ethan Procession. How many times has he played the Brampton Steelheads and absolutely killed them?
So
even when they were the Mississauga Steelheads back in the day, when he was young, he killed them. It's just, this is a guy that loves to play against Brampton and Mississauga back in the day. So I think if you stop him, they're heavy. They play a heavy game as well. They're well coached. Of course, we know Ryan Houlihan, head coach of the North Bay Battalion. Got a good assistant coach over there, Bill Holder. Right, don't forget about that guy. I mean, he coaches the defense. That defense has always been good.
Yep.
And a good goaltender, Mike McIver. They're tough. They're going to be tough in the Central. Central Division is really tight right now. I mean, Niagara Ice Dogs are in first place by what? Only like 2 points, or what do you got over there? I don't have my computer in front of me, unfortunately, which I should.
Let's take a look.
But I don't.
Here.
Okay, so let's look at the division. Let's look how tight it is.
Let's take a look at the division here. All right. It's going to take a little bit of time to load. We'll have it here.
That's okay. Yeah.
Central Division. Central Division. Yes, the Niagara Ice Dogs are 1 point ahead of the Brantford, or of the North Bay Battalion, excuse me.
Right. Brampton's 2 points behind, right?
3 points behind Niagara, 2 points behind North Bay, yes.
There you go. So things are huge. So North Bay, you stop Procession, well coached, Ryan Houlihan. I mean, he's one of the best. He's one of the best in the league for development as well. So They got a tough team. Wellenbreider over there, Ryder Carey, who's having a good start to
Mhm.
the season. So you got to stop those guys. You got to play well in your own zone. But if you cause turnovers again on this defense, on this North Bay defense, they should be okay against North Bay. I really do firmly believe that.
Yeah, and just kind of to add on to a few of those guys, somebody who's gotten off to a little bit of a slow start this year, but NHL draft pick Shamar Moses in the last
Right.
draft, 5th-round pick. I mean, he's somebody that's played well against the Steelheads too, and he kind of, we talked about the motor with Ty Daniels. He's a kind of a similar guy where he's got that motor in that
Mhm.
sense. Obviously, a lot of skill there too. And then now in his second season, Parker Vaughn, another guy who was a high pick in the OHL last year. So I mean, they got some guys there. And then you mentioned Mike McIver, great goaltender. So that's always, going to be tough to play against them. But we'll talk about the Niagara Ice Dogs because that's who's coming up right after this here on Saga 960 AM. And you talk about offensive firepower. Niagara's right up there with best in the league in that regard.
Oh, Kevin E, Winnipeg Jets draft pick, Ryan Robrick, who's projected to be a top 10 draft pick in the upcoming NHL draft as well. Ethan Zotto's already drafted to the Tampa Bay Lightning. Uh, it just goes on and on. Riley Patterson, who's going to be playing, he's drafted by the Vancouver Canucks. So 2 Canucks guys going to be going on it, Jade Sherrod and Riley Patterson, which should be pretty cool. So, but yeah, they got a lot of offensive firepower. But I feel the defense for the Niagara Ice Dogs might be a little bit of their Achilles heel, it seems like to me. And their goaltending, they're very young, going with Yarmolenko. The goaltending might be. Then they have Charlie Robertson as well, but I think Yarmolenko's the number 1 guy. So, but the defense seems to be the weakest link, I guess you could say. But offensively, absolutely stacked.
Yep, absolutely stacked is right. Brady Wasselin, of course, in there too.
There's another one.
He
Right.
he didn't play in the first game. Pretty much everyone you mentioned there didn't play in the first game that the Steelheads
won
played
that first game
against. Yeah, right, against the Ice Dogs. But Zada was out of the lineup. Patterson wasn't
There's
there.
another one.
Wasselin was hurt, and he was also out of the lineup too. So obviously missing some of their top guns. So it's going to be difficult. You're playing twice against them here, so maybe you can kind of pick up a little bit in that first game that you play against them in Niagara, and then you get the game on Sunday. But I mean, even early in the year, these divisional games are huge. So I think that there's some momentum though that the Steelheads do have from that Erie game that hopefully they can kind of take some of that and bring it over into this weekend, and of course into this game here coming up next on Saga 960 AM. All right, we have about 1 minute here, Mikey. Do you have any kind of life tip you want to throw in there? Very quick, if you got one.
Yeah, be nice, be professional.
Be
There's
nice.
one for you.
Be
professional. Be
Very
professional
quick.
and be nice.
Very quick.
Very quick.
Very sweet.
You see
Good.
somebody
life
you
tips.
know. You see somebody you know, exactly. You see somebody you know, say hi.
Yeah.
Be professional, especially in our business and stuff like that. Don't walk by them and put your nose up in the air. Just be nice. That's all I have to say. Be nice.
Yep. Good. Love to say
Goes
that.
a long way.
I want to say go Blue Jays, of course. We'll be in the World Series when this comes out. It'll be ongoing. So hopefully things are going well for them. All right. Thank you so much for coming along. I'm Brendan Lang. That is Mike Karafilids, 2 broadcasters here for the Brampton Steelheads. And that's it for Season 3, Episode 9. Enjoy the game against the Niagara Ice Dogs coming up next.